one of those afternoons where you're going to hear some teachers and some staff gush about you and your friends and your fellow students. And here's the reason why I want them, like, know that you deserve this gushing. I'm 56 years old. I'm lucky at this point in my life to have been a part of some things where I could say I've left a legacy in the world. Like, I've helped create some things that are still standing, and I can point to, and I can say I was a part of building that. I was a part of resurrecting that. You guys are 18 and 19 years old, and you have a legacy already. You have a legacy already, because when you chose to go to Dean, it was not in the place that it is when you are leaving. You were instrumental into making the Dean campus be what it is today. 100%. So when you come back and visit next year and brag about how awesome your life is and what you're doing and how you're moving forward and making the world a better place, that's going to make our hearts 3 times bigger, just like the Grinch, because you made us better, and you made us bigger, and you made us a place that people are fighting to get into now. So class of 2020, for all of the stuff that you've had to put up with this spring and the disappointment that came with school being closed, woof. Thank you. Thank you for persevering. Thank you for staying in touch with each other. Thank you for finishing, and thank you for the legacy that you've created down there on Main Street. We love you. We're very proud of you. We're super grateful. And with that, I'm going to turn it back on over to Miss Myra and the staff that love you. Miss Myra.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Mahoney, for that awesome and brilliant introduction. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Miss Myra Rodriguez. I have the privilege of being the Dean Campus School Adjustment Counselor, and I am also the class of 2020 Senior Advisor. This has been an amazing class. So many hands and hearts have touched this class to get them where they are. I would like to give a special recognition to the families who, from birth till now, continue to push their young people to be their best selves, and we could not do the work that we do every single day without our parents. So just a silent applause for our parents who are here. Couldn't do without them. So to cut to the chase, as Dr. Mahoney has mentioned, many people, seniors that know you well, have known you, some of you for 4 years, are here to gush all about you because we've seen your growth, we've seen your progress. And so these people that love you and know you so well, I'm just laughing at all the great energy in this virtual space. So without further ado, I am going to introduce our first staff. It's all going to be by alphabetical order. I'm going to introduce Mr. David Brushaber, who is going to speak kind words about one of our first seniors, Mr. Anthony Aguirre.
All right, cool. All right, Anthony, what's up, buddy?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Hey. Yeah.
Hey, there he is. All right, man, well, I got a quick thing to say about you. You ready? All right, well, anyways, here we go. So I've known you for just about 3 years now, and ever since I met you, you've been interested in carpentry. When you showed up in shop for the first time, I thought to myself, look at that hair. You must remember the afro. There's no way that's going to fit into a hard hat. But Anthony quickly stepped up to the plate by excelling in his first year project with Mr. Bernios. When he got the opportunity to do some outside work with Mr. Tarrant, he did not hesitate to take advantage of it. When he sees something he truly wants, he goes for it, unafraid of making mistakes, which he turns into learning opportunities. Excuse me. So I'm reminded of a domino table he wanted to make. He spent hours with me during lunch and after school planning and drawing blueprints, choosing just the right materials. Still to this day, it's one of the most impressive projects to come out of my shop. He's also the first student to get a co-op in many years from carpentry. Excuse me. So he's been a member of various clubs and often taking leadership roles. Although some mistakes were made, I'm still very proud of you, and I have no doubt that you will be successful in the future. I will miss your energy and presence around the shop, my friend. Good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
Sorry, everybody, technical difficulties. This Zoom world has definitely been a learning experience. Next, I would like to introduce the next staff to speak about our beloved Norangeli's and Andaluz.
Hi, everyone. So I have the pleasure of adopting Nora, and I made this sign for her and her picture with a little mask to protect her from the virus in my house. When Nora first started in cosmetology, she just was an on-point student. She stood out from her class, always respectful, always made good choices. First student to get a uniform and a kit. She was just raring to go. She was always so helpful with the underclassmen. Her talent was with the special effects makeup. If you know her, you know this well. She was just so creative and amazing, and the things she would create were just like, oh my God. She was, in her first year at Skills USA, placed 4th in the state, which is huge because that was against many other school districts. She was the first senior to take her state board, become a licensed cosmetologist, and go on a co-op position. She's still working with Jose, and we were just like beyond proud of her. She also received the John and Abigail Adams Scholarship Award because of her high MCAS scores. She's just blown my mind with her achievements, and she's just beyond special to me. I'm gonna miss you. Keep making us proud. You're gonna do great things in this world. I love you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Lavelle. Up next, I have the privilege to introduce our one, but really amazing, I have the privilege of introducing our really amazing guidance counselor, Ms. Bollier, who will talk about Fred.
Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Mrs. Bollier. And Mrs. Lavelle, I have to admit, I have a little bit of tears in my eyes, so please forgive me. I just want to say to the class that it's been beyond an honor to be your guidance counselor for the last 4 years. And that goes for the entire class. From the bottom of my heart. Fred, I don't know if you can hear me, but I have a few words to say to you. You are the epitome, in my opinion, of calm, cool, and collected. I could also say that you are often as cool as a cucumber. What does that mean? It's a phrase to describe someone who is totally composed and in control. I've always been impressed with your ability to stay calm and relaxed, even in situations that others may perceive as stressful. You never lose your level-headedness. Combined with a great and sometimes dry sense of humor, it has been an entertaining experience, to say the least, to have you be a guidance office presence. Your honesty is also so very much appreciated. If I needed a pulse on something in school, I could always count on you for an honest answer. I also appreciated learning if I was having a good or bad hair day as a result of your honesty. Your level-headedness, kind approach, and work ethic will surely be traits that will make you a success as a future healthcare professional. Nursing school will not always be easy. I encourage you to use your resources and never give up. This is the beginning of anything you want it to be. We, the staff at Holyoke High School Dean Campus, are very confident in your capabilities and know you will do amazing things. It has been a pleasure to be your guidance counselor for the past 4 years, And I have one last thing to do in your honor.
That was easy.
Thank you very much, Miss Bollier. Very thoughtful as always. Next, I would like to introduce Miss Christine LaRue, who will speak some amazing words about our one and only Mileishka, Berrios, Román.
I'm so happy. Look, this is my sign for you, Mimi. I know I was like sitting in front of it, but Mimi, I could go on and on about because she's just that awesome. She's just that awesome. I remember when I first met her and she came in to the shop just raring to go with that energy that I'm sure we all are familiar with. She's just animated and full of life. And I mean, I love that about you, Mimi. So I wrote this. Mimi is always full of life and animated. Love you. She tries to help whenever possible, and she steps up, and she has stepped up from time to time to time to time since the day she walked through that door. She's just a natural leader. She just is one of those people that's like, what can I do to help? What can I help you? Can I help? Can I do this? Can I help? Always, always. She has so much compassion for other people, so compassionate and empathetic, and for just beautiful qualities, so kind and sweet. And I'm so lucky to have taught her, so blessed. And I'm gonna miss you, Mimi, so terribly. I'm gonna miss that that hi miss when you come in and your sweet thoughtful notes. And anyways, I'm sorry. I love you. I will love you for the rest of my life, and I will cherish you as a student forever. I promise. I love you.
Love you, baby.
Thank you. Thank you. Mimi is definitely someone with a spirit that, you know, we will miss dearly, as we will miss every student on our Dean campus graduating this year. Next up, I have the pleasure of introducing, she's definitely an irreplaceable member of our staff, who's done so much good for our students. Miss Sara Pacheco will be giving a tribute to Miss Cristalee Berrios.
Hi, I have a pleasure to introduce the Cristalee. And Cristalee, you have a hard worker had not gone unnoticed and will not be forgotten. You were one of the first to have your CNA license. You have completed your goal in the shadow of the global pandemic. Cristalee, this will be take you a long way, and it's the first pass for a long life of success. Thank you to your perseverance and dedication. God bless you, you always. I love you. I miss you. Yeah, I am here for you all the time. I love you.
Thank you, Ms. Pacheco. It's lovely words. Up next, I have the privilege to introduce every staff, because every staff at Dean Campus has touched these seniors and moved them in amazing ways. Up next, we have Miss NJ Rivelis, who will speak words on Miss Jazmaryann Brightly.
Finding the words to describe Jazz is impossibly hard. She is a force of nature, a bundle of energy, somehow crammed into a tiny human body. Jazz's passion and enthusiasm shine so bright. She's thoughtful and kind and one of the friendliest people I've ever met. If she decides to be friends with you, you two are going to be friends. I'm pretty sure she rearranged the entire universe to make sure that we had the same birthday. Jazz, you are a brilliant ray of sunshine, an amazing student, a wonderful birthday buddy, and I wish you the greatest success in everything you do. I miss you.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Hello?
Thank you.
We can hear you, Jazz.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss NJ. Thanks, Jazz, for being you. Up next, I have Miss Debbie Ash, who will be speaking amazing words about Nashaly Carmona. Miss Ash, are you there?
You gotta unmute.
She on mute?
Debbie, you're muted.
Miss Ash, you're on mute.
Hi. Sorry. Okay. When I think of Nashaly and her time in culinary shop, the first thing that comes to mind is perseverance. Nashaly always comes to class with a smile on her face, and she gets right to work. Any assignment that we would give her, she would tackle it to the best of her ability. She is always so kind and offers to help all the other students in the class. Never once did I hear her complain. If we needed to accomplish something last minute, we could always count on Nashaly to get the job done. Today, I want to celebrate and congratulate Nashaly that you have for all that you have accomplished, and wish you the best in the future. Don't forget to stay in touch and come and visit us.
Thank you, Debbie. Up next, I will pass the mic to Miss Berger, who will be speaking about Miss Marangeliz Castillo.
Hi, Mara. I hope you're here. I'm going to make it through this without crying, I promise. Okay. Mara is the type of student to catch you by surprise. When I first met Mara, she was quiet and shy, but that did not deter me. Little by little, my corny jokes made her smile, and soon enough, we were having full-on conversations. Not long after, Mara was leading by example in the classroom, staying focused and completing her work independently. Mara is a leader, one who is driven and determined to succeed. She continues to persevere and grow despite tough times. In carpentry, she totally rocks it. She is professional, takes pride in her work, and has a critical eye for detail. Mara stands out, and as Mr. Brushaber says, there's no doubt that she will be running a crew in a few years. Mara, we see you. You are tough, courageous, and wise. No matter what, you step up to the challenge and don't back down. You are a role model for young women everywhere, and you make us so proud. We appreciate your dedication to your own journey over the years, and we are honored to have you represent Dean. You are really funny, hardworking, and kind. You have made Dean a better place, and I know you will continue to make the world a better place. Keep being you, stay focused, and you will be rewarded with success. Congratulations on Rising Star this year. We love you.
Mara is the one senior acknowledged for her efforts for really showing improvement through the years. So she'll be recognized later this month, in the month of June. Thank you, Ms. Berger.
I love you, Mara.
Up next, actually, I have a duo coming up. I have two people coming to represent. They had to fight over her because she's just that awesome. I am introducing Miss Adrienne Field and Miss Kirsten LaPlante, who will be speaking about Miss Amanda Concepcion.
All right. Are you there, Mandel?
Yes.
All right. All right. So me and Miss LaPlante wanted to share you both. So Amanda has worked so hard to reach her goals by always taking challenges head on. She's never shying away from struggle. Not only that, but she has been there to support others by always thinking of ways that might not just benefit her, but as a group as a whole. Amanda may seem like a very quiet individual at times, but really, she's just a deep thinker. She's great at problem solving and bringing up solutions. Many times, Amanda, during teaching, should suggest a new way to present material, or she wasn't clear about something. She always had a great approach about giving her feedback and using kind words in an encouraging tone. Amanda truly has a heart of gold. She not only looks out for her friends, but she's also for her teachers. She's kind to others and always willing to help when needed. In Cosmo, as well as academics, Amanda is meticulous in her approach and focus. Amanda is also a very creative person and a people person. Amanda is able to talk to anybody, making them feel comfortable and valued. We know these traits will serve Amanda well in whatever path she chooses in life. We cannot wait to see what she accomplishes. We will miss your hugs and your smiles in the hallways of Dean, Amanda. Love you.
Thank you, Ms. Fields and Ms. LaPlante. I know that was a team effort. Amanda, you're a ray of sunshine. Thank you for being you. We've seen so much growth in you. Up next, I have the privilege of introducing our vocational director, Ms. Lori Denisse, who will be speaking fondly about Anagelis Cruz Vallellanes.
Hi, Anna. I feel like I've been cheated because I've only been here for 1 year. But what I know about Anna is that she's a wonderful student. She's even a better friend. She's proven herself to be an amazing professional, you know, stepping up to the plate when so many adults wouldn't. I've been with her at work on her cell phone while FaceTiming, and you can see the warmth she has for her patients and also the love they have for her, for the caring that she does for them. You know, Anna, you're just a really, really good human being, and I'm super proud to have you in my life. Okay. Well, I'm really glad that you're moving on. Just wish I had more time with you. You better come back and visit us. I love you, girl.
I love you. I miss you. Don't make me cry.
Thank you, Ms. Denisse, and thank you, Anna, for being you. Thank you, Anna. Anna, as well as other handful of students, were some students on the front line during this pandemic. So mad respect and love for them and their work during this time. They're doing us an amazing service. We're very proud of them and everything they've accomplished. Up next, I will again introduce, because she has a heart of gold, Ms. Berger, who will be speaking about Anagelis de Bernios.
Hi, Carrie. All right. I hope you can hear me. Okay. Carrie, I will never forget you. When we first met, you gave me a run for my money. You tested my patience. You pulled at my heartstrings. However, I wouldn't change a thing. Together, we learned with each other and learned from each other. We overcame a lot in our teacher-student relationship. And through it all, we came to trust and understand each other. Carrie, you taught me to listen carefully, to think before I speak, and to lead with love. Even though you tell me I'm corny, OD, and often feel embarrassed for me, I know you appreciate my weirdness. You two are very funny and also make me laugh with your sarcastic comments. I will miss laughing with you, even though you often laugh at me. In all seriousness, you have grown a lot since we first met. It has been an honor to be a part of your journey. As you know, life will continue to challenge you, but I believe you will persevere. You are strong, honest, brave, and very self-reflective. Never lose your bold personality or your grit. I hope that you find peace in knowing that you did it. You graduated. And I am so proud of you. Wherever life takes you, know I am cheering you on. Congratulations.
All right.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you so much, Carrie.
Carrie's a fighter for sure, as are all our students. But thank you, Ms. Berger, for your kind words. Up next, I have the privilege, and I have a privilege again for introducing every staff, because I work with amazing teammates every single day. My friend Joseph Dustar, who will be speaking about Mr. Branden Gonzalez.
Okay, I hope you can see that message there, Branden. Hope you're with us. I'm honored to speak on behalf of a very humble young man, Branden Gonzalez. I've had the pleasure to know Branden for his entire tenure while he's been here at Dean, as a very active member of my physical education program. Branden is a very energetic and enthusiastic young man who always puts forth his best effort in all of his classes in CTE program, which is culinary arts. Being our most outstanding senior male in physical education, Branden had always demonstrated an unmatched zest for wholesome participation while raising the energy level of the class. What I'll miss most about this young man is his infectious personality, his daily check-ins in the PE office, and the spark he brings to our school. One thing that stands out most to me is his daily question: what are we doing today? No matter what was out on the floor, he asked that question. He asked that question always hoping that I would say ultimate frisbee or badminton. We'll get together and play in the park someday, kid. As we're speeding through the late spring, getting closer to that day that all seniors relish, which would be graduation day, I'd like to share a message that I'm sure our Dean staff would echo in entirety. We're proud of you, your efforts and accomplishments at Dean. We want to thank you for being who you are, a genuine young man. And lastly, wish you nothing but success as you graduate from Dean and move on to the next chapter of your life, young man. God bless.
Thank you, my friend Joe, for that beautiful tribute. Branden, you rock. Up next, this is, this pairing makes total sense. A very trusted colleague, Mr. Ben Hitzfeld, will speak fondly about our valedictorian, Jorge Gonzalez.
All right. Ben, you still want me to speak for you? Okay. All right. So I am reading this on behalf of Mr. Hitzfeld, just because of technology issues, but I want you to check out the sign he made for Jorge. It's super, super awesome. So Jorge, this is on behalf of Mr. Hitzfeld. Jorge Gonzalez has invested enormously in his time in high school, from the grades to co-op and even Eagle Eye. Oh, Eagle Eye! Jorge is a student about whom you can't say enough, but interestingly, he's a student who doesn't look for attention. Last year, I recall telling Jorge he is smart, and he said, "No, I'm really not. I just study and try my best." That's so Jorge. I think that is more telling of him than his academic record or his corny jokes, which he has plenty of. Jorge has all of the talent and dedication necessary for success, but it is his humility, not his grades, which set him apart. Jorge, congratulations on succeeding in this part in your life, and make us proud in the next one. Oh, and go make us look good. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Hitzfeld. Thank you, Ms. Berger, for reading on his behalf. Let's just kudos to Jorge. I'm gonna leave his picture up for extra seconds because I was just in awe by the touching words that I did not change it. So, but thank you, Mr. Hitzfeld, for those kind words, and kudos to Jorge for his humility and for representing us well. Up next, I have the privilege of introducing Ms. Kayla Gonzalez, who will be spoken about by Ms. Bagan.
Kayla. Woo! First, I want to thank God for keeping us safe during this pandemic. Second, I would like to congratulate Kayla for her hard work and exemplary behavior. She is an amazing student with a bright future ahead. She has always cared about others, and she is one of our heroes because she was worked with elderly people suffering from COVID-19. All the good that Kayla has on her heart is expressed in her acts of love for others. I know that she will succeed in anything she put her mind to. I wish her the best in life. God bless you always. I'm so proud of you, Kayla. You persevere even when you have a lot of obstacles in your life. I love you. I will miss you. You can always count on me.
I know Kayla's there, but Kayla was also one of our students on the front lines helping in a nursing home during this health crisis. So thank you so much, Kayla, for your service. We're extremely proud of you. Thank you for representing us well. Next, super excited to introduce our next staff. Mr. Mario Feliciano will speak tribute to Mr. Joshua Melendez Gutierrez.
Hi, Joshua. So I made an acrostic for you. I don't know if you can see it. I've been bragging about it all morning with my colleagues. So it says, it's your name, Joshua, but it says joyful, O for obliging, S for smart, H for honest, U for unique, and A for authentic. And here are some words that I have for you. The first time I saw Joshua Gutierrez 3 years ago, he looked like a tough and serious kind of student. For some reason, I thought he would be hard to win over. His tough guy demeanor remained for the better part of my first 3 months, but after a while though, he started to come out of his shell. He would laugh, joke around, and approach me with much respect. This sudden change caught me by surprise, and it was then when I knew that I had won him over. I will never forget his junior year when he was tasked with doing a public service announcement, and he asked my help on making a video in his shop explaining how to clean a car. It was one of the few times I interacted with him outside of the classroom and lunchroom, and I was blown away by the new side of him, full of professionalism, technical vocabulary, and impressive skills. Joshua is a very talented student with much charisma and uniqueness. In spite of how challenging any task is for him, he finds the nerve to tackle it head on, come what may. It is this kind of brave attitude we need more of in the world we live in. I have no doubts that he will go out into the world and do remarkable things for our society. It is said in Puerto Rican culture that with a respectful and humble attitude, you can win over the world. Well, I can confidently say that Joshua has those qualities in abundance. I feel proud of him and wish him success in all he sets out to do. Echa pa'lante.
Thank you, Mr. Mario. Awesome work, artwork. So up next, actually, I get to speak about a student, and I have no favorites. I love all the seniors. I just wanted to partake in being able to pay tribute to one of our very many talented students. So today I have the honor to speak fondly about Miss Daisha Lee Heredia. So Daisha. Daisha is a pioneer in her own right. Daisha has left a lasting impact on our campus since she arrived. Daisha, you are strong. You're a motivating young woman that has led so many efforts on our campus. From your work with student government to your work from Reconnecting Youth, a social emotional class that I was lucky enough to teach in, to the work that you do with mentorship. Your school and your peers alike have so much admiration for you. You are also a loyal friend and a phenomenal big sister to those close to you, not just your little sister, Mileishka, but you're just so maternal and so caring. You hold an understanding and empathy for others that is unlike any other, and are able to really take in feedback from those closest to you and put it into practice. These qualities will only make you an incredible member of society, I have no doubt, and I know an exceptional child life specialist, which is something you've been wanting to do since I've known you. You are such a nurturer, and you have such a tender heart for children. And I know especially this is true because of your own personal experiences with your sister. You are a tenacious, vibrant, persistent young woman. Daisha, my hopes for you is that you continue to push yourself outside your comfort zone. You lean on others when you feel like you need personal support because you matter too. Please know that we are here for you as you embark into your professional career. Keep moving forward, but don't forget about us. We love you. Please take good care of yourself. Go, Daisha.
I'll be sure to visit.
I believe it. All right. So up next, I have Mr. Teft, who will be speaking about one of his fellow shop students, Ms. Rebecca Jimenez. Mr. Teft.
Sorry, everybody. I forgot to push the unmute the button. Hello, everyone. Mi gente. I'm proud to be the diesel tech instructor to two amazing young individuals. And over the last few weeks, I have worked with them every Friday. My computer dings, and on point is Miss Jimenez. There, we have some general conversations about her work, maybe some just conversation in general, and then some quiet time where we just enjoy each other's presence. So over the last 3 years, we have seen some struggle, some hard times, and times of triumph. Considering we'll not get those days back, we can reflect on those days, and there was no bad days. All days were good. There were just easy days, and there were hard days. These two seniors, Rebecca and Miguel, have seen both in their personal lives and in the evolution of our high school. But with these two fine young people, I know they have driven deep into their inner soul and have persevered to this day with quiet, gentle, thoughtful, and sincere persistence. When entering this world, these two young people will add a new dimension to their surroundings and the people that they touch. Their trait of silence and thoughtfulness were proved many times to me with short, direct conversations that told me that there was more information being processed than was being conveyed. Every teen student that leaves me, they leave something with me. There are many times when the surroundings, situations, and the environment that I am in triggers a thought or memory of these fine young adults. I'm proud to add Rebecca Jimenez and also Miguel Torres to these memories that I will have in the future. I wish them both the best, and I will be very excited to see what future brings for these fine young adults. I'm gonna miss you guys. And each year, I lose another piece of myself because of more seniors that leave. My kids that I have for only 3 years this time. Take care, y'all.
Thank you, Tef. I'll miss you too, and I'll definitely see you next year.
Gonna hold you to it.
Thank you, Mr. Teff, for those tribute for those amazing students. Up next, Miss Jazabel Bermudez, who is, I want to say, a professional advisor who's been super helpful and key in helping me along this year, as well as many others. Will speak highly about Miss Nashaly Perez Reyes. Actually, my apologies. I skipped ahead. We're so excited to speak about her. No, actually, I'm going to introduce Mr. Robert Craig, who will be speaking about Mr. Brian Martinez.
Hi, everybody. How's it going? I'm going to talk a little bit about Brian Martinez. As you guys all know me, I'm Mr. Craig. or as like our students like to call me, Craig. I'm writing this to tell you guys a little bit about our student and friend, Brian Martinez. I've known Brian since he came into our carpentry shop sometime last year. I wasn't quite sure how he ended up in our shop, but I was happy to have him there as an addition to our family. He fit right in, having already known a few of our current students. Brian is quiet and respectful. He goofs around like the rest of us sometimes, but it's all in good fun. He knows when to stop. When he's given a task, he takes his time and makes sure it's done thoroughly and on time. For example, last year we were doing a graphic novel. Sorry, my camera. We were doing a graphic novel.
You there, Mr. Craig?
Rob, unmute yourself, Rob. Unmute yourself.
My goodness. Sorry, was I on mute the whole time and I hit that on accident?
Graphic novel you left off on.
On the St. Patrick's Day parade float?
No, graphic novel.
Okay, thank you so much. The graphic novel, he jumped right on that. He took the lead on the illustration as well as taking notes himself. He was truly the glue on our project. He has a good attendance record also, not perfect, but very respectable, especially since he goes to school, then on most days he goes right to work after that. I learned this by being lucky enough to get to know Brian a little bit on a personal level. It can be very difficult going to school and then going to work right after. This shows incredible work ethic. I'm happy to have been able to call him my student and hope that he is able to take with him some of the skills we have taught him, whether it be general or carpentry related. I'll miss his meticulous cleaning methods and his bottomless bags of candy. Brian Martinez, congratulations on your completion of high school. This is something you should be very proud of, and best of luck at whatever life throws at you and anything that you pursue. You're a great kid, and it was a pleasure having you in our class. Thank you, Mr. Craig.
Thank you, Mr. Craig. Now I have the privilege of introducing Ms. Jazmaryann Bermudez, who will be speaking about Nashaly Perez.
Nashaly. So Nashaly, words cannot describe the kind of person you are. Force to be reckoned with. You have proved that time and time again to yourself, but to others. I know that for a fact, that you will not let no one stand in your way achieving your goals. When your mind is set on something, you go for it without stopping. And that is what, even though you won class rebel, you are a sweetheart. You are there for others in their time of need. You might have won best dress, but your compassion for people were that best. You might have won class skipper, but you never skipped a beat in driver, but you are the best driver when it comes down to the path you choose in life. I meant when I said can describe the kind of person you are. In fact, there are too many words to describe you, but there's only one Nacha. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Bermudez. Nasha is amazing. Up next, this staff member, who's actually an alum himself, like some of our staff, Mr. Louis Breton, will be speaking about Ms. Shanoa Ramon.
Hey, what's up, gang? So I actually put Shanoa and Mayumi together. So since they were sisters, I kind of killed two birds with one stone. So here's that poster. I don't know if y'all can see it. Bam. There's that poster. Felicidades. So I just want to congratulate both of you girls, transferring from different technical schools and coming over here to Dean. It's a big step, technical school step. All I have is future persuasion and advice. No matter what happens in the future and whatever life throws at you, just take it and keep moving forward. Never accept defeat. for that will only set you back. Push yourself beyond new limits and beyond your comfort zone, for there you will only exceed great new things that you never knew could happen. The world has many things to offer. You just have to go out and find what piece it has to offer you guys. Just, I love and I'm gonna miss you guys. And pizza como es? Pizza and mayonnaise, it still doesn't go good. Like, I don't know how you do that. Like, you gotta change that. Hay que cambiar eso. Pizza and mayonnaise.
Thank you, Mr. Breton. So up next, I have Miss Danielle Hayes that will be speaking fondly about Mr. Devin Ramos Ortiz.
Hi, Devin. Even though I wasn't your teacher, I jumped at the opportunity to sing your praises because it's really easy to see how kind and creative you are from miles away. You really quietly lead by example. I really appreciated getting to connect with you a little bit after school. When I reached out to your shop teachers, they described you as super smart, meticulous, reliable, dedicated, and funny with a dry sense of humor. Mr. Craig said he's really going to miss that about you. Your academic teachers, we want to celebrate how thoughtful and kind you are. We so appreciate how we can count on you as a student and how you come to school ready to learn each and every day. There's no doubt your future is bright. And we hope you'll come back and help us beautify our school with some of that artwork and enjoy the rest of your summer. Congratulations.
Thank you.
No one hears your sign. We'll have to do a drop off. I'm sorry, my art skills are not as good as yours.
Thanks, Devin. You're the best, buddy.
Thank you, Ms. Hayes. It's awesome. Up next, a good guy. We have Mr. Mark Cipriani speaking about Nectar Rivera.
Okay, everybody. Nectar, I know you're out there. I saw you when I scrolled through the faces. Nectar, you started off in culinary, and then you got changed into auto collision a little bit late, and you struggled so hard with the vocabulary of the new shop. But when you picked up the spray gun and you started to do the work in the booth, it's magical. I mean, you have a coordination and a skill level that's far beyond anyone at your age that I've ever seen. And I really was impressed with your ability to do that and focus on what you're doing. I mean, and there were times where it was coming close to the end of the day and the job had to get done, and you worked right up into the bell and sometimes after the bell to get it done. That's a dedication that not everybody has, and I'm so proud of that. The fact that you're so tall and skinny, I always call you Rubber Man because you're able to reach into areas that no one else can, and that's a good trait to have if you're going to follow this career path. And then the thing I like most about you is your kindness. You are just so nurturing and friendly to everybody. Never any conflict, never any drama. You're just a great guy to be around. And I sure hope that you stay in touch with me and your other friends at Dean in the future. And I wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cipriani. Congratulations, Nectar. So up next, we have Ms. Allison Reingold, who will be speaking about China Rivera.
Hey, China, I have the pleasure of talking about you, even though I wasn't your teacher. I saw you as an instructional coach in every part of the building. So here we go. China, you've made an impact on your teachers and fellow students at Dean. You have worked incredibly hard while at Dean. You're a student with incredible determination, consistency, and a willingness to try nearly everything. You always take your time with assignments. You accept support when you need it, and you follow through until completion. You've also grown as a leader while at Dean, and you share your time and skills with the community in many ways. stepped up to speak at town halls, you've made morning announcements, and you're also the senior class vice president. You also are willing to give your peers feedback and make suggestions during student meetings to help for the greater good. You've also developed key professional skills while at Dean through your work in your shop, as well as in your job at Six Flags outside of school. Shaina, my biggest wish for you is to be clear with yourself with what you want to accomplish, then make a detailed plan and reach out to the best people possible to support you. I know you'll be successful when you move forward in your schooling and works life. Stay connected and keep being of service to others. Best wishes.
Thank you, Ms. Allison. Thanks, China. Up next, I have the pleasure again to reintroducing Ms. Christine LaRue, who will be speaking about Ms. Genesis Rodriguez.
Miss Genesis Rodriguez. I made a sign for you too. Yay. So, the first day Genesis came into Cosmo, she said to me, you know, this isn't my first pick. I actually wanted a shop that closed. And I said, oh, okay. But she rocked it. She loved, or I thought she did, loved everything, especially with makeup. So Genesis is our senior class president. She is a Skills USA gold and silver medal winner. She went to states twice. She competed against all of those other cosmetology students in the state, and she held her own and persevered, and I was just so proud watching her. I was so privileged that I got to go with her and witness this and witness her grow, and that was beautiful moments. So some things I wrote down about her is that she is truly one of the smartest kids I've known, and she every time I would get frustrated with her thinking she wasn't listening to what I was saying, she would come back and give me the whole spiel and then some, explaining things to me that I didn't even know she knew or understood, but she would do it, just pull it right out and just say it, and blew me away time after time. She is a leader for sure, because she is her own person and she will not be anybody else but her own person. And that's going to serve you well, Genesis, I think, because you aren't going to allow anything else. I don't know if it's your competitive nature or just your overall fighting personality, but it's going to serve you well. And, I have a very special connection with Genesis for very, very many reasons. I am going to cherish all our Skills USA memories and all of our songs that we connect to, that we'll play with for each other via messaging, and our heart-to-heart talks, and our just all the things that we share in common. I love you, and I'm going to miss you so, so much.
Thanks, Ms. LaRue. Props to Genesis. I'm going to reintroduce our Associate Principal, Mr. Alan Gates.
Hello, and before I speak about the student, just want to make a quick announcement. We recognize that it is 3:02. We are about 10 minutes away from finishing. We hope that you can hang with us. We're just a little bit over. And now on to my student. So Zach Rothis, can you unmute yourself and put your video on, because I can't see you?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Oh, you're right there. All right, beautiful. What do we got here? All right, so Zach Rothis. Got a sign for you, Zach Attack 2020, did it in shock with all my spare time. Zach Rothis, perseverance. Persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. From Florida to Dean to Gateway to college, Opportunity Academy, and back to Dean. You've shown the ability to overcome many obstacles and come out on top, finishing at Dean as an ambassador, in good standing, in both academics and your electrical shop. You have so many good qualities. You're outgoing, you're a hard worker, dedicated, you know how to persevere, you're friendly, you're a deep thinker, you're a leader. Sounds a lot like. These are some of the things that come to mind when I think about Zach Rothus. If you do not let life stand in your way and you accept the things you cannot change, and remember that your word is everything. You can follow through and communicate, you're going to be okay. Your effort with the 9th grade students in particular has been amazing. You always wanted to support these young students and give them the opportunity to succeed. You were there for our staff. You impacted many people's lives. You will always be part of the Dean community. Zach Rothus, you will forever be remembered as part of the core group of students on the Dean campus that helped us to save and move forward the work. Thank you for all that you have done, Zach Rothus. Congratulations on this accomplishment. I know this is just goodbye for now. You have earned it.
Thank you guys. Thank you all you guys.
Thank you, Mr. Yates, and thank you, Zach, for your commitment and for not giving up. I would like to reintroduce Mr. Mark Cipriani, who will speak about Mr. Manny Salamanca.
Oh, Salamanca. I don't know if he's here or not. I hope you hear this message, Manny. Manny, the quiet giant. When you first came to me, I asked you if you knew about anything about auto collision. You said no, you just thought you might like cars. And I'll be honest, I didn't have much hope, but you have turned my life around. You are one of the kindest, gentlest, most humble people, caring that I know. You're smart, you're brilliant, you're articulate. You have a great sense of humor. In your writing, you always and add a touch to everything. And your cheerful outlook is just infectious. I mean, I can't be unhappy when you're in my presence. And I just want you to know that I know you're going to be successful. See me at some time or stay in touch with me. But Manny, my friend, I do love you. I hope that you're very thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cipriani. And I forgot to mention, Mr. Manny, also a very humble and talented person, is our salutatorian. So second highest GPA. So big kudos to him. Up next, I'm reintroducing NJ, who will be speaking on Luis Santos. Actually, hold on. It's in there somewhere. There's Luis.
When I was first introduced to Luis, I was immediately impressed by his maturity and independence. Luis has tremendous drive and passion for computer science and is one of the most hardworking, conscientious, and dedicated students I have ever met. When he's focused on a project with his music blasting, sometimes he won't even notice the bell ring. Luis, I'll miss having to kick you out of my classroom at the end of the day so you don't miss your ride home. I'm so proud of everything you've done this year, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for you. Keep in touch, and may all your dreams come true. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Awesome, Luis. Thank you, Miss NJ. Short and sweet. I'm going to reintroduce, I should have just left him on the mic, Mr. Mark Cipriani, who will be speaking about Sean Sweeney.
Who? No, I'm just kidding. Sean. Sean, I remember when you walked through on Exploratory, you had your sketchbook with you, and you had all these beautiful drawings that you've done. and they're all freehand. And I was amazed by the skill and talent you had then. And then when it came time for you to choose a shop, you didn't pick my shop, and you ended up there by default. But your skill, as far as talent, working with your hands, being able to take things apart, put them back together, understand how things work, is incredible. Your dedication is outstanding. Your passion. I can go on and on about the skill that you have, and I know you're going to be successful in the future. I know it in my heart. I have no worry about it. I know your family, and I just know you're a good human being, and I'm proud to be your friend, and I hope to stay in touch with you. I'm sure we will, and good luck to you in the future, and it's been a pleasure to have you with me.
Thank you so much, Mark. Being in a shop is a real, take, because, ever since I was little, I always loved cars, and I always wanted to be around them. So to be in your shop, it really means a lot. And
thank you, Sean.
And I want to know that, that you're a real motivation to me,
It's very touching. Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome. Well,
Sean, I want to hear Sean more. I want to be mindful we have other students to speak, but Sean, you are going to be deeply missed. And I know there'll be other opportunities for you to connect with your teachers. Just a few more students to go. It's going to be hard to say goodbye to these guys. I have Mr. Steve Kanteritz speaking about Mr. Damian Torres.
Mr. Damian Torres, class of 2020. This class has a special place in my heart because your first day as an explorer, the first day in high school, was my first day teaching at Dean. So we've been on a great journey the last 4 years, and I really appreciate the time we spent together. And I'll never remember the first day as an explorer, Damian. We've probably both been in school maybe just a few hours, and you asked me where the cafeteria was for lunch. And I basically said, listen, you're going to have to explore because I have no idea where the cafeteria was. And we learned a lot together the last 4 years. And I'll never forget the last few months ago, you came up to me and asked, when I crossed the stage at graduation, you want me to refer you to as El Doro. And I kind of gave you a look, but I looked it up, and it meant something that was strong, hard, determined, and sometimes difficult. And you know what? That describes you. In your own way, you got your work done. In your own way, you found something that you love to do. And I've always mentioned that if you find something you'd love to do and give it 100%, you will succeed. So for graduating culinary arts in the class of 2020, Damian, I wish you peace and success and hope you always find something you love to do. Good luck, my friend. Peace.
Thank you, Damian. Thank you, Mr. Chef K. Mr. Teft, I know you spoke already about Rebecca and Miguel. I didn't know if there was anything else that you wanted to add, but here's Miguel again. Let's give Miguel a silent clap of applause. Last but not least, our last senior to discuss, Ms. Crystal Vallan will be talked about by Ms. Debbie Ash.
First, I want to show my poster that I made in her honor. Crystal, when I think of her, I think she's playful, silly, sweet, curious, and filled with love. So, Crystal, curious, funny, and playful Crystal. It's been a pleasure having you in our culinary shop. You have matured and blossomed right before our eyes. With you, Crystal, each day was an adventure of hide and seek and, oh, the silliness of it all. Who will be scaring me and keeping me on my toes every day? In all seriousness, you are a hard worker and a talented baker and well on your way to being very successful. Just don't forget, there's no race. Slow and steady is the way to go. Lastly, I am going to miss our birthday celebrations. Being born on the same day years and years apart. So congratulations, Crystal, and continue to be awesome and reach for the stars. I will wait for the day that you come through the doors at Dean and we have a conversation about all your accomplishments. Love you.
Thank you, Miss Ash. Kudos, Crystal.
But I did just want to recognize briefly 3 students who have already been mentioned, but in particular, their participation in Eagle Eye programs over the last 3 years. And that is Manny Salamanca, Jorge Gonzalez, and Jazmaryann Brightly. And I just wanted to shout out these students for showing up week after week, being part of our after-school program, and going on almost every single camping trip and program that we've run in the last 3 years. Jorge and Manny were part of almost all of them. And then Jazz started joining last spring in 2019. And I think they really embody what it means to be dedicated. They really understand community and showing up. And I'm just gonna miss them so much. They've been just such an amazing presence in this program and have contributed so much. So thank you. It means a lot to me personally. It means so much to the program too, that you all were part of our program for the last few years. So I wish you all the best and please keep in touch. I love you guys.
Thank you, Cass. Eagle Eye's been working with us as an amazing partner that has transformed our youth and will continue to do so. And I would like to pass the mic back to Mr. Gates, who will close us up for our event.
Thanks, Miss Myra. And Matthew wants to close us, but I have to pass the mic before he closes us to our superintendent, Dr. Stevens Reich.
Yeah, I'm just going to be really brief. I am so inspired by all the young people. You guys are amazing. What a tremendous group of you who have persevered, been resilient at Dean through some challenging times, and now to see the amazing success that you've had, led by some of the most amazing educators that I've ever worked with in my career. I just want to wish you the very best. Your futures are so bright. You're so ready to conquer the world. And I can't wait to, I don't know if I'm going to be handing you the diploma, but I'll be near you when giving you the diploma during the August graduation. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Reich. And just to close us, my son's messing with my speech. It's quick. I want to thank our senior families for amazing years of your trust and your commitment to our shared student. Been through a lot and appreciate everything that you've done. We can't do it without you. Also, a special shout out to Myra Rodriguez, senior class advisor, for pulling this off. Amazing. And the Spirit team, Sarah Pacheco, Diana Pagan, Jezebel Bermudez, Lori Dennis, and Teresa Bollier. Woo! Our entire staff, those that spoke today and those that have been part of these students' lives for the past 4 years, appreciate you. And certainly last but not least, our seniors. 4 years. Zach, you have all added to building a strong foundation at Dean, and you should be proud of that. When you come back, we're going to continue to be a great place on your backs. So thank you, thank you, thank you, seniors, for all that you have done. We all will miss you greatly. You are always welcome back at Dean. You're part of our family. Thank you very much. If you want to hang on, you can hang on. If you want to write in the chat box, go ahead. We'll stay on for a couple minutes, but then we're going to let you go to have a great weekend. School's out. Why are you still here, seniors?
Woo! And I just want to say more details to come, seniors, about graduation and all the details. You'll continue to get YouTube videos from me, so don't disconnect yet. Stay safe. Thank you all.